So first, we'll just go through this forward-looking statements disclaimer rather quickly. We have to include that in every presentation as we're talking about the future. I'll move this. So FLYHT, as Gilbert mentioned, we have developed over the past 22 years solutions to increase safety, profitability, and efficiency for our customers. And our customers are typically airlines, OEMs, and aircraft lessors. And looking at this picture from ICAO, you can see clearly that the aviation industry, as throughout its entire history, has not been without challenges. And there have been several bumps in the road so far, but it's pretty undeniable that the recent pandemic has resulted in an unprecedented decline for the industry. This is a look at the industry as a whole, but how we look at it at FLYHT is a bit different. Our customers are very geographically diverse. So we have customers in North America, in Asia, and throughout the rest of the world. And so as each wave has been impacting the world, it's been impacting the world at different times. So as some of our customers are having a really tough time, other customers are in recovery mode. So there has been some diversity there that has helped our revenue so that we didn't see these kinds of declines in our revenue throughout the pandemic. The other thing that's been positive for us, for a lot of our customers through the pandemic, is the different markets that they serve. So while world passenger markets have definitely taken the most impact of the pandemic, our cargo operators, which represent about 20% of our customers, have actually, in a lot of cases, been increasing their operations and doing quite well. So the recovery has varied, and the impact has varied among our customer base. We've been talking to our customers through the pandemic, particularly in early to mid 2020, and just working with them and building that relationship further to understand what they're seeing in the pandemic, how they feel about recovery post-pandemic. And this survey was issued in mid 2020 it's posted on ana.aero, and it really confirmed what we were seeing from our customers. They're not interested in spending necessarily on capital expenditures now. Terminal design and aircraft orders are down. And what our customers are telling us and what we're seeing in this survey as well to support that is that airlines are realizing that they have to do things differently in order to emerge successfully from the pandemic. They're looking at investing in mainly digital transformation, in automation, and FLYHT, being experts in the aviation industry, and also in gathering and helping our customers understand their data and turn that into something they can make drastic change with. That's really been an area where we've been able to help them. And we saw it as an opportunity for FLYHT to help our customers post-pandemic, ensuring that they'll be stronger post-pandemic, and also FLYHT, with our relationship with them, will take them there and help get them there. And so FLYHT, what we've done in mid-2020 is we pivoted our strategy so that we took advantage of our strengths and looked at what our customers needed. And we decided that rather than, in our history, we have historically looked at aircraft data, so data that is coming off of the aircraft or that is available on the aircraft. And we expanded that view so that we are now looking at the complete operations of our customers, everything that's happening in the air and on the ground. And that pivot is a SaaS recurring revenue model. The products that we're building and that we have been building since mid-2020 in that space, we've called Actionable Intelligence. And we've worked with mainly 3 launch customers so that we could focus our efforts with our development team. One of those 3 launch customers is China Express. And in our work with those customers, we've identified these three main areas that we can make the most impact in their operations. Turnaround times. If the aircraft is on the ground, it is not generating revenue. So anything we can do to help our customers understand what is taking so long, if there are delays on the ground that are within their control, has really been it has the potential to be really impactful in our customers' operations. Irregular operations, anything that the sooner our customers know if something is going to impact their operations, the better. And we've been able to do a lot of work in this area for them. There are so many ways that you can impact your fuel usage. It's really interesting when we've dug into this with our customers. There's everything from how you are flying the aircraft, best practices, to even in the flight planning mode. You know, how much fuel are you taking on? Is it impacting the weight negatively of the aircraft and therefore even requiring more fuel? There are many examples in the fuel area where we've been able to work with our customers to develop specific solutions for them. And speaking of fuel, the total market, the total operating costs of airlines worldwide is about 800 billion every year. And about a third of that is fuel. So even if we're able to save our customers 1 to 2% in fuel, it's going to have major impact to their bottom line. So now just looking at a glance at FLYHT's operations, last year, our 2020 results were just posted a week ago, and our top line revenue was a total of just under 14 million. Our contracted backlog that we expect will convert into revenue in the near and intermediate term is about 29 million. The contracted backlog is much greater than that, but we regularly scrub this number to be sure that we have an understanding of a realistic number that can be expected to convert into revenue, especially like when we're talking with our customers, understanding what their plans are for their fleets. A lot of the reduction was in planned hardware spend, as our customers are a bit shy to spend on capital expense now, and therefore our pivot into actionable intelligence, which doesn't require in the early stages any sort of hardware on the aircraft. 54% of our 2020 revenues were recurring, and that's been an increase from, it was 48% the year before, and we expect recurring revenues as a portion of our total revenues to continue to increase as we implement our actionable intelligence solutions with our launch customers and other customers into the future. Those recurring revenues carry gross margins of just over 65%. Our retention rate is amazing. Our customers are very loyal to us. We are very loyal to our customers. And really, when we've lost a customer in the past, it's mainly due to bankruptcy. And often their aircraft will go back to a lessor. The lessor will lease them out to another operator who will pick up our services because they find AFIRS on board when they get the aircraft. Our customer ROI of 800%, this is on our actionable intelligence solution. We worked with our launch customers, one in particular, to identify specifically what the revenue model and the cost savings model might look for them. And so at 800%, it's a pretty compelling offering. FLYHT has 22 years of commercial aviation experience. And over that time, we've been on just under 3 million flights, which converts to around 4.3 million in flight hours. So we've been here for a while. And so just looking at our future, what's really going to impact FLYHT success into the future has been our strategic refocus on the actionable intelligence solution. We have a solid pipeline and a solid backlog of revenue that has to be delivered and will be delivered on average in the next 2 to 2.5 over the next 2 or 2.5 years. We have over 8.9 million in liquidity available to us as of our last balance sheet reported date, which really sets us up well and allows us to have that runway to deliver those solutions for our customers. And now Michael Fang has been with us for a very long time. He's been working and leading our team in China since 2005. In the early days, we were supporting communications for airlines as they wanted to be able to communicate back to their operations centers when they were flying in remote locations. And since then, we've partnered with our customers, and we've grown as our customers have grown. We've grown together, and we've implemented several really interesting projects, and we have several in the near-term pipeline. And so Michael Fang will now talk to you about a lot of those exciting plans. Over to you, Michael.
Okay, thanks, Alana. My name is Michael Fang, and as introduced earlier, my job is for FLYHT business in China, mainly for sales and marketing. FLYHT do predict that aviation industry will recover soon. Actually, in China, we see that airline business really picked up. We can see that flight hour consistently increased over the last couple of months. And also, FLYHT had a very excellent team. And we have people not only from technology, IT industry, but also people from aviation industry. They do have expertise and experience. And we predict the requirement, and some requirement not even predicted by airlines. And we listen carefully to the industry, and we work with local authority and to make it happen. So next. As everyone probably know, China market, that is a little bit special. What is special is that the government actually is the main driver for all the new technology to be implemented. And back in 15 years, China will see there is a huge increase of the aircraft numbers in China. And because there is not enough efficient voice communication between pilots and ground system, FLYHT predict there must be a good chance. And we work with CAAC, which is Civil Aviation Authority of China, to develop our IFRS system. And when CAAC mandate SATCOM for safety rules, FLYHT IFRS product becomes available right at time. And right now, there are actually 25 airlines using IFRS. And it's about more than 800 aircraft already installed IFRS. Next. And CAAC, everybody knows that there is a BeiDou system will be used in China, and CAAC is working hard to promote BeiDou system on the aircraft. And FLYHT started with the CAAC to develop a first BeiDou system in order to have a good, secured, security, safety data connection system. And we have project going on with CAAC. We predict that and in the next 10 years, there will be 450 aircraft that will be using this new technology. Next. And there's an honored customer in China, and it's a China Express. China Express become FLYHT first customer when they take a CRJ900 from Bombardier. And they are so happy with the services provided by FLYHT, they sign up with IFRS project on their newly acquired ARJ21 aircraft, which opened a new opportunity for China for FLYHT to install IFRS on Chinese manufactured aircraft to implement the AI, actionable intelligence. Next. For now, we're happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So let's get right to it. Can I get this first question out of the way? Is a person called Donald. So Donald is asking what other companies are in your space, sort of competitors. Maybe you can talk about the competitors in your space. If there's anybody?
I can take it. From China perspective, there are competitors, but we're doing things very differently. And most of the competitors focus on voice communication. Well, FLYHT, they provided not only voice, but also data. And we focus on the hardest part is to get SATCOM hardware on aircraft. This is very hard. Once getting hard, we shift the attention to the data services. That's something that other competitors don't do. Thank you.
Good to know. So the second question here coming from Luke. He said, do you have maybe not sure if they missed it, any guidance for this year, 2021 fiscal year?
Our regulators ask that we don't issue guidance given where we're traded on the TSX Venture. So we haven't historically issued guidance. But what I can say is we do have a lot of exciting plans for our actionable intelligence solution. We are delivering the solution really shortly to our launch customers. It's been in development since mid-2020. And we're expecting that our fortunes in 2020 will really be tied to the recovery of the aviation industry post-pandemic. And so in the fight between the variants and the vaccines, the earlier the vaccines can win, the better for FLYHT and for our customers and for the aviation industry, for sure. Our actionable intelligence solution, we're anticipating will start generating revenues, maybe in Q2 if things improve quickly, but more likely into Q3.
Thank you. That's a question coming from Brian here. Brian Liu is, I think it is written in Chinese. Let me translate a bit in English. So is the company active in searching for a full-time CEO?
We are taking our time. Bill has been with the company for the majority of the time since 2003. He took a hiatus for 5 years and came back to us mid last year. Even during his hiatus, he was the chairman of the board during that time. So he's always been actively involved with FLYHT. He is really, he's really interested in making sure that FLYHT is successful long-term. If someone comes along who is a perfect fit, that will change things, but Bill's in no hurry to go anywhere anytime soon.
Sure. Let me get one more question here. Is from he here. Is that about FLYHT? Is there more room for growth in the European market? Because currently it's only a small percentage of your business right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That is an area that we could definitely grow. We haven't had a physical presence in Europe to date. And I think it's been difficult to really grow business in Europe without a physical presence. We're working on partnerships and potential M&A activity in that area to help us grow in that area of the world.
Yeah, let me take one last question here from the audience. Got Sylvain. What is the biggest challenge for FLYHT to upgrade sales in terms of, is that regulation, COVID, or price, etc., sensitivity?
Michael, do you want to take that one? I believe that right now it's the pandemic, but I believe our actionable intelligence solutions will address that, but you may have a different view being in sales.
Well, from my perspective, the biggest challenge and the barrier is working with local authority. And FLYHT has been working with local authority for over, I would say, 18 years. And then we closely follow the upcoming regulation so that we have a suitable product available when the new policy comes out.
Okay, good to know. So I think that's it for, thank you for your time, for answering all the questions here, and give a good presentation. Thank you, Alana and Michael here.
Thank you
Thank
for asking your conference.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.